is a graft? What is a fistula? They just throwing words at me, and I really don't know what they're talking about. I mean, if I'm sick, you at least got to explain to me what's wrong with me. Don't just tell me I need a graft or a fistula. All right, just let me know something, help me out a little bit, because I'm scared. That's a big word to me, so I must be sick if you're saying graft, fistula, graft. What's a graft? I only know graft from math, so I don't know graft from anything else but from math. So hopefully I'll just go to the doctor and I'll get answers, or uh, I'll read the stuff more or read about it, but I don't know. And maybe somebody out there might know what is a fistula, what is a graft, and what do I do or what I can do. I just want to know my options. I'm going to deal with it, even though I don't like it, but I just want to know my options. And if you know the answer out there, I would like you to let me know and tell me so I can know my options. Because maybe you know your options. Because this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in a kidney world. Hello, how is everybody doing? Happy summer, and it's almost coming to the end. I'm still determined to get to the beach. I love the beach, I love water, and I want to go. It's relaxing, it's tranquil, and I love to swim. But since I had this hip thing going on and bone stuff, I can't get in the water yet or swim. I almost drowned the last time. So was you going to throw me an ankle or what? But anyway, I just would like to let you know that I'm appreciating that you're tuning in and that you're coming on the show, because I always have a great guest. And tonight, this guest is an excellent, wonderful, wonderful person. She's okay, let me look. A direct care counselor. She works with people. She been on dialysis. She had a transplant. She's a working woman, a single mother. This woman goes to bat for her kids and her family, and even for herself. She's just too much. I'm telling you, you're going to love her when I tell you. Her name is Valencia Taylor, my powerhouse, good girl and friend. Woohoo! Valencia Taylor. Hey!
Hi.
Hi,
Hello,
sweetie.
everyone. How you doing, Miss Baxter? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm alive and kicking. How about you, girl?
I am doing quite well myself. Thank the good man above. Every day is a
Amen.
better day.
Amen.
I'm very grateful. Yes, yes,
Woo.
indeed.
I pray in myself, girl. I pray in myself. I've been moving
Yes,
the last
ma'am.
3 days, so stuff is everywhere. I had your stuff written out, and the next thing I knew, I couldn't find it. I had to write something else. How about that? But
That's
we Johnny
okay.
on the spot, and you looking beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, the summer I decided to do the t-shirt thing for a little bit because I was dressing up, but I dress up again. But I want to try something a little different, you know.
Okay.
So, first of all, this is your second time being on my show, and I had it before.
Yes, yes, it
And my
is. And
husband
I'm
was
nervous
my
again.
cameraman, and you came to my home,
Yes.
sat on my couch, and I was able to tape you.
Yes, I remember that quite well. Yes,
You were
I remember.
nervous, but you did an
I'm
excellent
still nervous.
job.
I'm nervous
Yeah, and
now.
you're
I'm
gonna do an
nervous now.
excellent job tonight. How about that?
Hmm. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my
No.
best.
And your best is the greatest. Your best is the greatest. So let me see where we're gonna go first. We're gonna go with your dialysis journey first.
Okay.
So how talk about the beginning when you first known, you first found out. Hit us.
Okay. Well, I found out when I was about, I would say maybe 22.
Mhm.
Um, had already had, going through issues with hypertension and blood clots. So my health was already pretty rocky. And I wound up having two pregnancies in 1 year. I had a miscarriage. And then I
Oh
had
no,
my
sorry.
son.
Mhm.
Yeah, things happen. But I
Mhm.
became pregnant with my son that right after the miscarriage, and during my pregnancy with him, I started to develop seizures, and
Mm.
had preeclampsia. And, because my hypertension was so out of control, it was pretty bad.
Yes.
So from the seizures, I was rushed to the hospital, emergency C-section, and about 6 months later, my son came home from the hospital, and like it was like right after that, my kidneys just failed. Unfortunately, I didn't keep up with my appointments and things that I was supposed to do.
Yes.
I was young, I was in denial, and things like that. And I did pay for it with, almost my life, almost my
My
son's
Lord.
life. So it
Mm.
was pretty bad. I was on dialysis. Um, Maybe a month short of 11 years.
Wow.
Um,
My God.
yeah, my children basically grew up at my clinic. I have my
Wow.
daughter who's older. Yeah. Because being a single parent, I didn't have help. I didn't have anyone to assist with the children while I go to therapy, dialysis. And
Uh-huh.
my son, being born premature, he was born with disabilities, and he had issues and things and appointments of his own. So it was just a lot to deal with, and I just did the
Yes.
best I could, and I got through it. Like I said, almost 11 years, and this is August,
Yeah, we were in August. Yeah.
so I'm a year and 3 months now with my transplant. So
Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo!
fast forward to that. Yes, yes, I received the transplant last year on May 2nd.
Excellent.
Yes, so I mean,
Wow.
it was
I
a
was
great.
ecstatic. I was so happy for you. I didn't know what to do a cartwheel. I didn't know what to
Yes.
do a split like I did when I used to be in gymnastics for so many years. You know.
Oh my gosh. I was actually on my way to get breakfast when I got the phone call, and the only piece of paper I had on me to write the address down was a candy wrapper. And that's what I
What kind
wrote
of
on.
candy? That must be some famous candy.
It was actually high chews. I believe that's
Uh-huh.
like a Japanese candy, but it's
Mm.
real, it's good candy.
Right.
But yeah, that was the only piece of paper I had on me, and I just made phone calls on my way to the hospital to let everyone know that I was going in for surgery. And
You
like
let me
everyone
know. That's
already.
right.
Yes, I let everyone know. We already
Yes.
had a plan set in place just in case, or when that phone call came, so everyone knew what to do. The kids were taken care of, and off
Mhm.
I went.
And that's
Everything
a good
turned out
thing. You
great.
always gotta have a plan, and you always need a type of plan. So you have to
Yes,
have that in place. Now I'm going to
yes.
take you back a little bit before we go back
Okay,
forward.
okay.
First of all, I met you in a store. Remember when I
Yes,
went to a store, and I think we saw each other's arm, and that we started
right.
talking about dialysis.
Yes, you saw my arm. You
Yes.
saw my arm, my access, and you asked me about it. And at first, it was still pretty early in my treatment, so I was uncomfortable. I already didn't like showing it. I was trying to get used to everything. So for someone to come out and comment on it and I didn't know,
Woo.
I felt some kind of way. But when I turned and
What?
looked at you, it was like,
Yeah.
but it was obvious you didn't mean any harm. You showed me yours. You explained that you understood. And it was just like we clicked from there. And,
Yeah.
we've been buddies ever since.
Every since it's been a lot of
Yes,
years. Met the
yes,
children, know the family, know your mama.
yes.
I
It's
ain't
been a
mad
lot.
at you.
Yes,
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 yes. So
ma'am.
I mean, sometimes you don't know how to approach a person and you don't know what to say and you want
Right,
to help because I know sometimes we all get in trouble as dialysis patients and sometimes you
right.
wish somebody would throw you an anchor, throw you a line, throw you a shoe. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. But I mean, throw
Some,
you something that can, make something happen for you. You know what I mean?
yes,
So
yes.
you said also that your children lived in the clinic. Give me a little piece about that clinic living. Because I saw
Well,
children in the clinic before or around the clinic. So hit me with that.
it actually was very difficult because basically, everyone's coming for their treatment. People are sick. We're not feeling well. You have elderly people. So, there's no children.
Right.
But I was in a situation where it was either I bring the children or I miss my treatment.
Yeah.
So it came to that, like,
A rock in
I
a
think my
hard
son.
place.
Right. Yes. Yes. So I
Mm,
believe my son, like, and I didn't do it in the very beginning because obviously my son was too young.
yes,
And, but I would say maybe about 2 or 3 years old, I started bringing him because I was on dialysis his whole life. That's all he knew,
yes.
so
Wow.
they grew up in the waiting room. I had several staff that would go out and check on them. I would bring a bag with snacks, activities, schoolwork to keep them busy.
Wow.
I had the cell phone so we could keep constant contact, and there were like drivers or like other people's family members that were waiting for other patients.
Yes,
And like they would look out for the children. And like at the end of the day, it's not a situation I would like to be in, but I was
yes.
grateful for everyone stepping up a bit for me. And I was a stranger, but they knew I needed my treatment, and if I didn't bring the children, then I couldn't come.
Right, right.
So it was a little from everyone, and everything worked out, and it worked out like that for years. And as they got older, my daughter's able to do more to help her little brother, because she was about
Excellent.
five or six when I got sick. So she's a few years older than him, so she's able to help out more. But it was rough. It was
Yeah.
rough, but it had to be done.
Well, she grew
It
up
had to be done.
beautifully, and so is he still growing up. But what I like is
Thank
that they
you.
jumped in and they wanted you to come to treatment, so the staff was willing to help. The
Yes,
strangers that
yes.
didn't know you but knew, we have a lot of stuff in
Hmm.
common being on dialysis. You know what I mean? Whether you're a
Yeah.
mother, a grandmother, whatever you are, you still know, recognize help. You don't need to
Yes,
know the
yes.
language to
Hmm.
recognize help. So they
Yes,
recognized your situation and they leaped and jumped in. I like that kind of
yes,
thing.
ma'am. Yes, they did. I'm
Yes.
so grateful to this day. I will continue to be grateful because, there were times where I missed a lot of treatments and I became very sick. And now
My
I
Lord.
have to go into the hospital. No, so now childcare is even worse because instead of being gone for a few hours, I'm going for days at a time,
Jesus.
So it was rough, but it turned out okay.
Yes. Well, you're a champ. You know that girl. You a hero. You know that girl.
I just do what I have to, I have children, I want to be here for them, so I do what's necessary.
I'm glad you recognize that. A lot of times, people check out or can't deal with this and feel like they better off. They don't want to be a burden to their family. They don't want to be a
Right.
burden to their children. And you stayed and you did your thing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm glad that you didn't give up or didn't want to check out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I'm not gonna lie, I it's very depressing going through that, especially with children, and like I said, my son, he has cerebral palsy, so he's disabled, and there's plenty of things and appointment that goes on to make sure he's okay, and it has
yes,
nothing to do with my health. So
right.
depression, anxiety, all of that, I dealt with it, but at the end of the day, when I wake up, I see them, and that is my motivation,
Right.
that's my motivation. And I always said, like, if they weren't here, I honestly don't know what would have happened because it's not an easy road at all.
I
At
believe
all.
it.
Not even
I know it.
close, not a little bit.
My God. Mm-mm.
No. No, it's not. So I'm very grateful for my children because they definitely,
Yeah.
was my strength. They were, it is what it is. They really
You got to
were.
hold on to something. You know what I mean? My family has helped me a great deal, and God has helped me a great deal. And I have to hold on to that to move on in order to function and to live and to make it.
Yes.
You
Thank
know?
you, Jared A. Brown. Thank you very much. You sent a little comment. I saw your comment.
Oh, that's so sweet. You can see it. That's great. I
Yeah,
usually watch the
I've
show
never
after.
went live before, so I'm like, oh my god,
But no,
I'll
I
watch
usually watch the
someone
show
live.
after
I
and I
never went
answer
live.
questions and stuff. So if you see in your comments now, you way ahead of me. So I ain't mad
Oh,
at you. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? I ain't mad at you at all.
God
So
bless you too, Miller.
oh, okay. Now, okay, so has this affect your children in any way, would you say? I'm sure it has, but I mean,
Oh
in what
yeah,
way or what thing or story would you say where you could say that it truly affect them? I know being in a hospital would affect them, or
wow,
not
like
being sick and you missed your treatment and now you can't do what you
right,
want to do as a mama for them. So I know
right.
that's one. You know,
Right. I don't even know where to start. I mean,
pick one
my
out
like
of the
I
air.
said, like I said, my daughter, she was about 5 or 6 when her brother was born. And like I said, I got sick after that, a couple of months later.
Yeah.
Um, she saved my life at least 3 times. She called 911 for me. Like we were on the
Ooh,
news.
look. Mm.
That I was taken to the hospital because I had passed out in the house from seizures. And, it's just me and the children. And at the time, my son was a little baby. So, like she's called 911 for me. She's, always been there for her brother, whether it's to
Wow.
change Pampers or make
Wow.
diapers, like
She's a
to,
sweet
to change
hero too.
Pampers,
I ain't
make
mad at her.
bottles,
Yes.
like, and I
Mm.
didn't want her to have to do those things, but at the same time, I'm weak. Some days I can't get out of bed. Some days I can't cook dinner. So I have to make something quick, like they don't complain. They're very caring, and they, mommy,
Yeah.
are you okay? Willing to fluff your pillow, so they
Wow.
understood that, mommy's not okay and it's very serious. And if I'm going at the hospital, like a lot of phone calls, a lot of FaceTime,
Things like that
of course,
to keep them seeing your face. Because I'm sure
yes,
they would
yes,
worry, even though
yes,
they're
to hear
young
my
and they don't
voice.
always get it. Like you said, they knew you were sick or something
Yes,
was
yes. So
going
it's
on.
like if mommy goes to the hospital, is she gonna make it back? Like when she left, she
Wow.
was really bad.
Yes.
Or like EMS had to get her and pull her out the house. Like that happened on a number of occasions. So
Jesus. Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Hi.
they've been through the ringer. They have, but they keep it moving. They keep it pushing. When I am well and I have energy, I make sure I try to do everything, whether it's going out, play basketball with my son, because now he's going to be 12. So, like,
What? Look at that.
yeah, my daughter will be 17 and my son will be 12. So,
Whew.
time flies.
Wow. All right now,
Yeah, but
mama.
yeah,
All
but they
right
had to
now.
grow up before their time,
Yes.
and I,
Yes.
I didn't want that, but I appreciated it. I needed it, and I'm glad, my daughter was able to handle the situation the way she did.
Well,
I
who
was
taught
very
her that?
grateful
You
for
taught
that.
her that?
Well, when we first moved on our own, because I'm still in my first apartment, the whole time I'm still in the same apartment. So when we first moved here, and
Mm.
I knew that we were living alone, and she was, I believe, starting kindergarten, so it wasn't, your
Oh,
name, your
school.
address, your phone number,
Oh, yes. Yes.
emergency,
Got to learn that. Yes.
So once I became sick, it was like you have to know these things. So it was posted all over the house. It was in every notebook. It was
Mm.
practiced every day.
Say that.
And it was unfortunate that I needed it, but grateful that I practiced at the same time because you don't want to be in that situation.
No.
But if it happens, you want the little ones to know what to
What to
do.
do?
They
Ooh,
have
you
to
said
know
a
what to
mouthful.
do.
That is so true. That is
And
so true.
I have to give a big shout out to my daughter because man, oh
Give
man,
it.
oh man, like that's my right hand right there, like for
Yes.
real. It's my little
Excellent.
lady right there.
Hey, that's what a mama got to do. What a mama's supposed to do. Get that thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yep.
Wow.
hmm
Well, you got
Yeah,
good kids. I've been to your house. I've been inside your house. I've been around them doing homework. I've been
yes,
around them as
yeah,
you help them, and I've seen them help you. So that's fantastic. Well, how
yes,
was
you
the
have.
seizure, and how was your son's cerebral palsy?
Um, okay, I think the first question was how was my seizures, I think.
The seizures you were having, you said.
Okay. Okay. So, honestly, I haven't, I lost count. When was my last seizure? But this is 2019. I would say maybe 2012 or 2013, give or take,
Yes.
somewhere around there.
The
So,
last time.
yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, so I don't have to take any meds for that. My son is doing extremely well. He's, keeping up in class. He has his therapy and things like that, like speech and physical therapy to help him along the
Excellent.
way.
Mm.
He actually just graduated in June, so he's starting junior high school, sixth grade.
What? Look at that.
So yeah, he has his difficult days,
Who
because he
doesn't?
do have a disability, and even though he's considered high functioning because he can like manage in society, as the doctors would say, he can button his shirt. He can walk. He can zip. And little things, everyday tasks. He does
Yeah.
have mild paralysis on his left side. So
Mm.
while he can do these things, it's extremely difficult and it takes a lot of time to get it done. So,
Yes.
being in school, you're around other kids, they're moving fast. He plays basketball, he's into Fortnite and PlayStation and all that.
Wow.
He does his best to keep up, but it is stressful for him when he does fall behind and others don't understand. So,
Yes.
it's not perfect, but I appreciate that he keeps trying, like even when he gets down, he gets up and keeps trying, like
Wow.
it's yeah, they're very good with that, both of my children. My daughter's getting ready for 12th grade, and she's trying to pick
Woo!
college and stuff like that.
Prom
So,
coming up. Yep. College.
uh,
Wow. Look how great
tell
a
me
job
about
you've
it.
done.
Yeah.
Look, come on now. You better go
Oh
ahead.
man,
Look
just
at
it makes
that.
me
Look
feel
at that.
old, and I'm
Excellent.
not old.
You know? No, you're not old. Not at
I
all.
know.
Not by a long
I
shot.
know.
But look at a good job you've done to reach
Yeah.
this height in this age with your children. You know what I mean?
Thank
And they
you.
in this
Thank
with you
you.
and you're in that with them.
Yes.
Awareness, you notice that awareness is good, whatever is wrong with you. Even with the
Mm-hmm.
cerebral palsy, you said
Mm-hmm.
his friends don't always understand. Maybe they don't know nothing about it. You
Right,
know,
right. And he'll
just
tell
like
them. My
people don't
son is
know
quick to
about
tell them.
dialysis or transplant
Mm-hmm.
or kidney disease. You
Right.
know what I mean?
You share information. You have to share the information. My son would
Like
tell them,
certain people
listen,
didn't
I
know I
was
was in
born like
pain
this.
while I'm doing the show. You know,
Mm-hmm.
trying to sit still and not go.
Right.
Not act up with the. But it is what it is, and you do what you got to do to survive. And to
Yes, sir.
make it, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, let me see, because so far, how's your transplant journey been?
It's been great. It was very painful in the beginning.
Talk about it.
Honestly,
Uh-huh.
like the surgery itself was fine. I had it done at NYU Langone. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. On
Sure.
First Avenue. So my surgery went great. I was up walking the next day. I was home within 5 days. Um, but my like the pain for me was getting used to urinating again. Being on
Oh,
dialysis after my third year, I think I stopped urinating. So
really?
to have to do that again, it was something else.
Wow. It was my 8th year. That 8 years I
Yeah.
didn't go to the bathroom. Was it eight?
Oh, it
No,
hit me
4. I'm sorry,
early.
4 years I didn't go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I didn't
Okay.
urinate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was a while for me. So, I mean, that was most of my pain. But after that, I was able to handle the meds well. The appointments I was able to handle, they help you with
Oh yeah,
transportation and things like that. So,
yeah,
I mean, other than that pain piece I just mentioned, I mean, everything went rather well. After maybe like 6 months, I was able to like really move around. I actually went back to work pretty early. Thanks
yeah.
again for helping me with my job. I still have it.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so
Yes,
proud of
I
you.
still
All
have
I
the
did is
same
give you the
job.
information and introduce you to Miss Ponce, and you went from there. She saw how
Yeah,
wonderful you was and had to hire you.
yeah. I did the
See,
training at the
resources. Me and you
MCC, and that
discuss
was it.
resources all the time, right?
Yes, yes. You're always
Yeah.
sending me
So
information every day. Yes,
yes, you
yes,
started
indeed.
trusting because you said you didn't always trust because of
Mm-hmm.
the system. So
Right, right. Yeah,
yeah. So I understand. See, once you open
yeah.
that door, I told you to be easy and beautiful, and look at you,
Yes, I'm still there. Same agency. I'm still there. Yep.
doing good at that. Now let me
Yeah,
see
I
what
love
else
it.
I can ask you. Now when you was on dialysis, did your children learn anything about dialysis? Would you say, besides
Oh,
the sick
yes.
or passing out? What? Tell me what else did they learn?
Oh no, because they were able to see I had a fistula and I had a graft. So
Mm-hmm.
they were
I'm
able to
seeing up to
see
your
it. They
nose.
were able to learn about it. Um, they were able to see the needle. They understood what happens. They saw the machine.
Yeah.
Of course, like I have pictures and stuff like that. So they were able to experience the whole thing.
Yeah.
and everything, all the questions, we
Yeah.
answer them. Like I said, they were at the clinic all the time, so they were able to talk to the technicians, the nurses, the doctors, or whoever
They
was
ask
there.
questions. My
Yes,
sister
yes.
grandchildren was like that. Her children too,
Mhm.
but the
Yes.
grandchildren, I mean, that other generation, they just went in. You know what I mean? They was
Yes.
willing to learn and
Mhm.
wanted to. Go back a little bit. So
Mhm.
I only see your up to your nose. I want to see your mouth. I see your mouth when you're talking, but there you go. I can see it a little better, I think. All right. I'm
Okay.
act like I'm there. I'm looking over. But yeah. So I'm glad they learned something. What would you say you learned while you was on dialysis?
Whew. I think my biggest lesson was don't procrastinate. If there's an issue, you're not feeling well, or the doctor is telling you, you're on this path, be aware, be cautious, stop eating certain things.
Yeah.
You got to listen to your body. You got to listen to your body. You got to take your meds. You have to
Mm.
keep up with these things. Because, like I said in the beginning, I was very naive. I was very young. And I never would have thought in a million years that would have been my experience. So
Yes.
definitely don't procrastinate when it comes to your health. Take it very seriously. And, it's a day at a time. It's not going to be easy, even if it's not your health. It could be a number of other, issues through life, whether it's your job, something in your personal life as far as your home.
Hmm.
It's important to take it a day at a time. Like, you can't control everything. There's been plenty of times where I
That's true.
wanted certain something to happen and it didn't. And I was left feeling worse than I originally was because I thought I can control it. You can't control. Just do what you can do. And that's all that you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, being on dialysis teach you a number of things, a
Yes,
lot,
Lord.
a
You ain't never
lot, whether
lied.
you like it or not, whether you
Uh
like
huh.
it or not.
Whether you want to
Yes.
learn it or not, too, right?
Yes, yes. Like, this is your body, even though you have technicians, you need to, try to understand how the machine works because there are times when you have someone new training, you never know. There were people that I didn't like the way they would stick me with the needle. You even had some patients that would put the needle in themselves. So like
Yeah.
the whole thing is a learning experience, because you want it to come out in the best way. You want to come out on the good side.
Oh, sure.
So
Yes. Oh,
the whole
yeah.
thing is a learning experience. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what would you say you learned from the transplant experience? And did any of the children learn anything about why dealing with your transplant journey, your transplant life, your transplant
Oh,
victory? Hmm.
well, a lot of things from being on dialysis travel into the other side as far as now having a transplant because you still
Ah,
have medications that you
yeah.
have to be on for the rest of your life to maintain this organ. And
True.
you don't want to damage it. You don't want to destroy it by eating the wrong things because your diet isn't as strict, but you still have things that you are not supposed to have. For instance, I can't have grapefruit, pomegranate, and it's still everything in moderation. Like, I don't
Me
drink alcohol.
Yeah.
You don't smoke, and like there's certain things that will make it improve other than your medications, but your medications are a huge part. You mess up on that, you can, it can start to work against you, and your kidneys start to work against you. Your body is fighting it, and next thing you know, you're back on dialysis. So
Mm.
you got to keep up. Don't procrastinate as far
You
as
do.
taking your meds. Take them on
That's right.
time.
That's
Take
right.
them on time every day. Eat right.
Yes.
And just live life because now I can travel. Like, I went to Miami this summer. I went to Virginia with the kids, so I'm
Excellent.
able to move around more. I don't have to worry about treatment and planning and all of that. So it's definitely better.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to stay on this side. I'm trying to keep my kidney healthy, and
I ain't mad
I'm
at
trying to
you.
do right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I
do the
know
right
that's right. Me
thing.
too. It's been 3 years
Yes,
for me since I had my transplant. And I remember the
yes,
pharmacy, woo,
yes,
the pharmacy called me
yes.
today. No, they
Amen.
called me the other day and said, Lisa, your stuff is running down. I said, I'm going to get it, but I'm moving. I had to put stuff in storage. And I came where you
Right.
see this beautiful house is my sister's. I'm staying with her, pulling myself together with the issues I'm
Right.
dealing with my body. So
Right.
they
Right.
called me today. I mean, I called them today and they delivered it at the place because Accessorat wouldn't pick me up to 2 hours later, at the storage. But I
Right.
laughed
Right.
because
Okay.
they said, "Can we bring it tomorrow?" And I said, "No." That means I wouldn't have
No.
my transplant medication. I said I had
That's
some
right.
pills, but not all. I want the whole thing. Or if I only supposed to
That's
take the
right.
four, where my four pills at? The two at night,
Mhm.
where they at? I had some, but not all. I didn't feel comfortable
Right.
taking a couple and not everything.
No.
So
No.
they
You need
brought it to
all
me.
of
They
them.
delivered it to me. So I
Yep.
like that, and
Yes.
anybody looking, I say, yeah, that's my medication. I ain't got no problem talking about it, and I got
Yes.
it. You know what I mean? And I took it.
Hmm.
So you know what
That's
I mean?
right.
You got to live this journey, and you got to do everything to keep it. Like you said, you want to stay on this side. Me too. You know,
Hmm. That's
me
right.
too.
That's right. I
Amen.
like this side
Amen.
better. Dialysis, I was very grateful that I had that as an option and it was able to keep me here with my children. But a kidney is better. And I'm forever grateful to the person, I was able to receive it from. And, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to do the right
Wow.
thing. Like,
Wow.
there's no other way,
Now,
There's no
now,
other way.
the direct care counselor, what do you do? Did that ever interfere with dialysis or with your transplant or life period? Because I know having a job, I got two. I'm not on disability now, but I got
No,
two
it
jobs.
did not. No, and
What?
that's one thing I love about my job. Um, it's very flexible. Basically, they set you up with families, and everyone I work with has disabilities, from severe to very minor. But all the people I work with have disabilities. And basically, you're set up with families and you guys set up your own schedule. They let you know what hours they're able to work with.
Wow.
Stay the same. And if you can set up a schedule, then you can keep them as a client. And
Right.
I mean, there were families I wanted to work with, but unfortunately, scheduling didn't work out.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of other families that you can match up with to make the schedule that you need or you
Mhm.
want. And to this day, it still works in my favor.
Wow. I ain't mad at you.
Yes,
Beautiful.
yes, yes,
Beautiful. Well, what do you do with the
yeah.
families exactly?
Okay, so it all depends on the family, the person with the disability, what they're comfortable with. So I most of the time I'm working with children, so school age, helping them maintain focus as far as whatever task they're on.
Yeah.
Depending on their range of disability, might depend on how focused they can be.
Yes.
Um, I have some children, excuse me, that I just help them as far as their schoolwork because they may not be getting enough help in class or maybe
Okay.
there's disruptions or whatever in class. So you help them with schoolwork, community activities, community awareness as far as helping them learn to cross the street, be independent.
Wow.
I have
So independent
adults I
living.
work with.
Hmm.
Yes, right. I have adults I travel with to make sure they understand how to travel, what's safe, what's not safe, how to socialize and communicate with others in a public
Yeah.
setting, different things like that. But they're awesome. Everybody I work with is just like so awesome. I love it.
That's
I really love my
fantastic.
job. I
It's
really
good to
like my
love
job.
what you
Like, oh
do.
my
You know what I
gosh.
mean? They say if you love
Yeah.
what you do, you never work a day in your life.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when I go to work, I don't feel like I'm working, and I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. I really do.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're doing so marvelous, fantabulous. Um, what would you say to a mom out there that may be dealing with a child with a disability or dealing with sickness themselves and the child is sick also? What advice can you give to them? What would you say?
Wow. I think patience. Patience is key. Knowing, like I said before, we can't control everything. We could just do our best.
Mm-hmm.
You do everything you can, and if you can't, you get to it when you get to it. Prioritize what's more important, what needs to go first, this, that, and the third. Just you gotta have patience, especially with a child with disabilities. You have to have patience because they get agitated very easily, so It's a lot of it has to deal with patience, a day at a time, and having
Yes.
faith that you're going to be okay. You may not feel like it right now, but you're going to be okay. It may take a while, but you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
Wow.
And that was some of the things I had to constantly remind myself, at a day at a time, and just do your best. As long as I do my best, what else is there for me to do?
Wow.
I
Now
did
that's
my best.
heavy. That's heavy. I
Yeah,
like that. Yeah. You've done your best. What else can you do?
yeah.
But your
I'm
best.
one person. I can only do what I can do.
Wow. Is there
Yeah.
anything that we didn't go over or didn't discuss or something you wanted to put out there that I didn't ask you or you're thinking about, would you say?
Um, Not that I can think of. I mean, I think we covered just about everything, sums it up.
Bro.
I don't know. Like, I'm still a little jittery, so I mean, I don't know.
What? You're doing fantabulous. Get out of
I
here.
listen, I'm on camera. I don't do pictures. I don't do video.
Yeah, I was glad to get you a second time. I didn't know if I would. I tried. I've been trying a minute, right?
But how
So,
could
but
I
I,
tell you no? Like, how could I tell you no? Like, come on.
oh,
Like, of course I would do it. I might be
oh,
uncomfortable, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I appreciate you. I really do. Is
I
there
know.
is anybody at your job or at your dialysis center or transplant team or family member you'd like to give a shout out to?
Wow. Well, one person in particular, I know they don't do the online stuff, but I'm gonna say she's a female, and she's an older woman, and she's very close to me, and she actually was a big help at my dialysis clinic. She was one of the doctors there at Rockwell Dialysis, and
Beautiful.
we didn't always see eye to eye,
Mm,
but she always had my back regardless. So I mean, everybody definitely helped me, but this one doctor in particular, we bumped heads a few times, but she always meant well. She always had my back. I appreciate my mom. Hi, mom. Like, she definitely comes over and help and do what she can. I mean, everyone in my circle, I get a little here, a little there, and whatever I get, I'm grateful for. I'm
me
grateful for
too.
everything, and even you, Miss Baxter. Cause I mean, if you wouldn't have said anything to me in the store that day, I don't know that we would have this friendship. I can't say that I would have my job. Like, I can't say that I would have went back to school and finished my training. Like,
You better cut
you
it out.
were a big part of helping, put my household together, helping me, like, mentally remember, like, I'm still human, I'm still an individual, like, I can still do for myself and for my family. And going to my training at BMCC and getting my job was a huge part of that, because being sick and being stuck in the house is very depressing. And I wanted so bad to get out of here, and you had it. You had that training, and you gave it to me. I believe two, maybe three times, and I finally went, and it's all
You
written
my
in the book
girl. What I'm
now.
gonna do?
Like,
You my
you
baby.
really
What
be
I'm gonna
hooking me
do?
up. You be hooking
Hey,
me up, like we said. You still send me text messages. You still send me inspirational notes and quotes and things like that. Memes, like, you got my back, and I greatly appreciate it. I do. I
oh,
really do.
well, I love
Yes,
you.
I
I
do.
always love you. I always
I
love
love
your
you
family.
too.
And I'm just very proud of you. I couldn't be more
Thank
proud of you
you.
than you were my daughter, or
Oh,
niece
thank
or
you.
whatever.
Thank
So
you.
I'm very proud of you. Keep up the good work. I'm always here for you. And I just appreciate you coming and do this because a lot of people don't want to share their story. But a
This
story
is
or a testimony
life.
can change so many lives.
Yeah, this is life. Like, you never, like, I'm pretty sure I am not the first single parent to have to deal with dialysis and children. You understand? Like, I'm pretty sure there's other things that I went through that someone else went through, or unfortunately someone else may experience. So,
Yes.
if they hear this, it might help them, remember certain things or reach out to people because, I was very closed in myself. Like, I had people offering help and I wouldn't accept it, me thinking I can do everything and I can't control everything,
Yes.
So
Yes.
sometimes you just need certain reminders, this is life
Yes.
and we have to share stories, share information. It's not ours to keep.
Wow.
It's not yours to keep. Someone gave you the information. You have to spread it around. You
Woo!
have to,
Come on
you
now.
know.
I like that kind of talk. You better go ahead.
I'm just that's I guess just honestly how I feel. When I got my transplant, I someone in my building, I guess he moved in that summer last year, but I didn't know him. He was a stranger to me, but I saw his arm. I saw his access. So I waited till we got off the crowded elevator and I pulled him to the side and I was like, I don't mean to be nosy. I showed him my access and I explained to him I just had a transplant and if he's interested, I can give him the phone number to the clinic and he could look into it. I did
Wow.
it, and his wife gave him a kidney. Literally, like a month or two later, they already had their blood work up to date, so all they did
Wow.
was transfer the information. And she was already a match. They just needed to do the surgery. So I was like, "What are you waiting for?" And they was like, "Well,
Yeah.
this and that." I said, "No, here you go. Call the number, see what happens." And they did it. And he got his kidney. So it's not my
Wow.
information to keep.
That's
It's not mine.
beautiful.
You
Woo!
know,
Yes,
it's
you
not
better go
mine.
ahead. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. We gotta share. We gotta play it forward. You know what I mean? We
Mhm.
gotta. That's what it's all about. I throw resources out about New York, but some of the resources travel through the whole world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And if you
Yes.
live out there, all you gotta do is dig or ask a
Mhm.
question. Enough
Yes.
stuff is up there on the block. Just go on the block and ask them what they offer, what they
That's right.
give. You don't want to go
Mhm.
outside, ask information or something. Google it.
Yes. Don't let your pride get away. Exactly. If you're uncomfortable speaking to people, you can go online. Do it. You can do it behind your phone. Like
311 411.
everything is online. Yes.
That's right.
Exactly. Make a
Fill
phone
out the
call.
application. Don't want to talk to nobody. Don't want to see them. Fill out the
Yes.
application
But
for an
don't let your
apartment, a
pride get in the
job,
way.
everything now.
Yep.
Yep,
Don't let
help
your pride
too.
get in the way. Get it. It's out
Get
there.
them
You
bills
gotta get it.
paid. Get them bills paid. Get
Exactly.
some money. Put something in your pocket
Yes.
and
Yeah, because
encouragement.
as soon as I started working, I'm able to do more things with the kids because now I have the extra money to do activities, to go ice skating, to go to the movies, to go to
Ah,
theme parks and stuff. We
ooh,
wasn't doing any of that before because all the money, my little income, straight to rent, straight to food, like necessities.
wow,
So working was, yeah, it was a big part of making me feel whole. It really
wow.
was. It really
Shoot,
was.
girl, you on fire. Come
Oh
on
my
now.
God.
Oh, oh wow. This is a fantastic show. This
Oh
is
my
truly
God.
fantastic. And wow, thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for showing love. I'm about to end it. If there's anything else that you want to say or feel,
Um,
you did
I just
fantabulous.
want I
Mhm.
just want to send peace and blessings to everyone and remind everyone that, a day at a time, take it easy a day at a time and listen to your body. Listen. You got to listen. Okay. Don't ignore that little ache, that little pain. Listen.
Ouch. I know
And
that's mm,
I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and I hope you all have a good night.
mm. That sounds like a show host to me. Don't start that. Hey, I'm proud of you. I really am, and I'm happy for you. And you keep up the good
Thank
work.
you.
Definitely stay in touch. You know I'm gonna be bothering you and calling you. So
I
I would
wouldn't expect
say
anything else.
I would say good night and thank you. You're a real
Thank you for
hero and a real
having
blessing.
me.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I love you, okay? And I'm going to talk to you later.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Wow. See, didn't I tell you? The lady was a powerhouse, all right? She's a powerhouse, a sweetheart, and she's a true warrior of dialysis and a transplant. A mama. That's right, a single mama, and did well. So I thank you again for all your love you show to me, show to my guests, and show to Urban Health Outreach Media Facebook page. We have many shows, so tune in. All right, we have many. So thank you and good night. Thank you very much. Much love, peace, and blessings. God bless. Thank you.